Yes, sir. We made it, baby. Made it to 2024. Oh, man. Woo! Woo! Had to get myself together, man. But yes. We made it, man. We made it to another year. Made it through another 365 days. I am truly grateful. I hope you are to see 2024. Welcome to the Dynastyers podcast, man. It's been too long, too long since I've been in front of you guys on this platform talking to y'all about sports, talking to y'all about life, talking to y'all about any and everything that's going on in the world. Boy, that cider coming back to get you, boy, man. Again, I am your host of the Dynastyers podcast of Cape's Corner, Darius Capers. You guys know me better as Kung Fu Cape on Twitch. You guys also know me as Darius_Capers on Instagram, Darius Capers on X on Twitter. But we have to shout out our partners at the Capers Cares Foundation as well. Please make sure you do me a favor, give them a follow on Instagram at the Capers Cares Foundation. They're doing big things coming into 2024. I know it's going to be a big year for them. You don't want to miss it. You want to tap in. Please do that. Last but not least, before I get started, please give us a follow on YouTube, on Instagram at the Dynastyers podcast. We are going up this year. I'm telling you, it's going to be a big year. The year is going to involve a lot of consistency. The year is going to involve trying to branch out into other things. Dreamville is coming up in the next few months. We are going to be there again. Hopefully we can give away some tickets this year. We don't know yet. Still some stuff in the works. But for you to know what we're doing, you've got to sub. You got to follow us at these social medias down below, man. Let's go on and get into it, man, because I got to start here. We need to talk, guys. We need to talk. Last time we were in front of you guys, there was a lot of speculation, a lot of conversation, a lot of exclamation about who the MVP is in the NFL. And I feel like at this stage in the season, it's a foregone conclusion, man. MVP in the NFL is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, dare I say, is the best player in the NFL right now. I mean, what else needs to be said? He has a record of 13-3 as a starter, 24 touchdown passes to 7 interceptions, has another 800 yards on the ground, another 4 to 5 scores on the ground. Bro, he's done it yet again. He's done it yet again. He's proving everybody wrong yet again. Last time we talked to you guys, there was a conversation of, Brock Purdy, Tua, Dak, all of these names that have fallen by the wayside. The one consistent name through it all has been Lamar Jackson. And I said that we need to talk about Lamar Jackson because if he does what I think he's about to do, he will be in a rare air. Lamar Jackson already has a unanimous MVP. Lamar Jackson might be the first to win 2 unanimous MVPs? What are we saying, bro? I'm just doing a little research right now, guys. I know y'all see me looking over to the side because I'm trying to see something really quickly, because with Lamar Jackson potentially winning his second MVP in the regular season, right? There's not many quarterbacks that have multiple MVPs and a Super Bowl ring. I'm looking at some of these multiple MVP names. These are the names he would join the list up. Just follow me. Johnny Unitas, Hall of Famer. Joe Namath, Jet Great, Hall of Famer. Joe Montana, Steve Young, Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Kurt Warner, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. These are going to be the names that, not quarterbacky enough, Lamar Jackson will be a part of after winning his second MVP. You want to know what's even crazier about him possibly winning his second MVP this season? Lamar Jackson doesn't turn 27 for another 6 days. Lamar Jackson is 26 years old and will have 2 MVPs before 26. Lamar Jackson wins the MVP this season and also wins another Super Bowl, wins his first Super Bowl. Quarterbacks with 2 MVPs and 1 Super Bowl, that list shrinks very, very much. These are the people that have 2 MVPs in the Super Bowl, 2 wins in the Super Bowl, and winning the MVP twice in their career. Only 2 people have 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Tom Brady, Eli Manning, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana, Terry Bradshaw, Bart Starr. Those are 2 people that have 2 Super Bowls and 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Now, if we're looking at just guys that have MVP and Super Bowl, that list shrinks, especially multiple. Lamar Jackson can do something that a lot of people saw and a lot of people knew he could do. But those people out there that were saying he wasn't quarterback enough, he's going to prove you guys wrong. He's already proven you guys wrong. I don't know what else he has to do besides win games. It has to get to a point where winning games takes precedent over how it looks. If it's not how we want it to look, if it's not from the pocket, if it's not conventional. Lamar Jackson is a great football player, a great quarterback, a great athlete. I feel like multiple things can be true. Him being a great athlete and being a great quarterback are simultaneous. Lamar Jackson's trying to be the Steph Curry of football, bro. Dare I say it? Dare I say he's trying to be the Steph Curry of football? Came in the game, changed it, showing that you can build your whole system around a quarterback and he can lead you to the promised land. I think about teams like, and in my fantasy football group chat, man, we discuss about this all the time, this upcoming NFL draft. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. The Chicago Bears do not need to draft Caleb Williams. And I say that for this reason. Justin Fields, his talent level, his ability to win from both the pocket and outside of the pocket reminds me so much of Lamar Jackson. There is a reason I was banging this desk, banging the table, banging on my laptop during draft time when my New York Jets drafted Zach Wilson 2nd overall in the same draft that Justin Fields was in. I was telling them that Justin Fields needed to be number 2. He has a skill set so similar to Lamar Jackson, and I feel like if you commit like the Baltimore Ravens have to building an offense around that guy's skill set, that guy's talent, you can win Super Bowls. Yes, I said Super Bowls, plural. The Chicago Bears need to look at trading that pick and seeing what they can get for it to build around Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a talented player, man. He's a very talented player, and I can see a ceiling. I'm not going to say as high as Lamar Jackson. I don't want you guys to sit here and think that I'm saying Justin Fields will equal Lamar Jackson as a player. But if the Chicago Bears commit to building around him, they have their franchise quarterback in their building already. Let's pivot, man. Let's pivot. I'm off my soapbox talking about the great Lamar Jackson, man. I just hate how it's been such a he's not quarterbacky enough. His stats aren't like Josh Allen's, or he's not his completion percentage high as Brock Purdy. So what happened when they played each other? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. Lamar Jackson was clearly the best player on the field with multiple Hall of Famers on both sides of the field. So there goes my soapbox about the MVP. Lamar Jackson, you've earned it, man. Congratulations. Staying in the NFL for a little bit, though, man, I have to come and talk to you guys about these games because, like I said, last time we talked, it seemed like, what, Jaden Daniels just won the Heisman, Tua, Brock Purdy, we're all MVP candidates. You know, Dak Prescott was leading the MVP. Now, the league has changed. Week 17 just happened yesterday, and stuff got shook up, man. Stuff got shook up completely. With the Seahawks losing, they're no longer in the playoffs. Green Bay has a chance to make it in the playoffs now with a Jordan Love that people did not know if he was going to even finish the season as the starting quarterback. The Ravens dog walked the Miami Dolphins yesterday, 56-19, as Bradley Chubb potentially might be lost for the rest of this year with a torn ACL. That's really going to hurt them when they get to the playoffs, as Jalen Phillips is also on the shelf right now with his torn Achilles. Man, let me stay here for a second. Mike McDaniel is a great head coach. Don't get me wrong. Great offensive mind. I'll say good head coach. Good head coach, great offensive mind. Why did you still have your starters in the game when you were down by 28 in the fourth quarter? There is no reason why they should have still been in the game. The game was decided. Get those guys out. Keep them healthy for playing for the division next week. Now you don't have Bradley Chubb on one side. You don't have Jalen Phillips on the other side. Jalen Phillips, his injury happened a little earlier in the year, so I get that. But, bro, their chances now of making it out of the wild card round is slim to none. They're going to have to go on the road because they're going to lose. They're going to lose to the Bills next week. I truly, truly believe they're going to lose to the Bills next week. They're going to lose to the Bills, and they're going to have to go on the road to Arrowhead. And they're not going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs at home. I don't care how inept their offenses looked. Their defense is the real deal. We saw what Tua looked like yesterday. I can't even say this past weekend. Yesterday. It's going to be one and done for them. Another team that I'm really scared is going to be one and done for is the Philadelphia Eagles, man. I know y'all seen it in the introductions. I'm rocking that Kyler Murray jersey, Boomer Sooner, baby. Y'all know I'm Oklahoma Sooner guy through and through, man. That man Kyler Murray was tearing them boys up. I'm not even going to hold you. Man, like I said, I'm in my fantasy football championship, bro. I call myself stashing the Eagles defense because they had to play the Giants, the Cardinals, the Giants for the playoffs. They got whooped. Kyler Murray, 232 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, another 24 yards on the ground. James Conner rushed for 128 yards and a score. They could not stop a nosebleed in the second half. They were up 21-6 at halftime. I just knew. I was sitting pretty, man. They had a touchdown on defense. I was sitting pretty, licking my chops, rubbing my hands like Birdman, as they say. Man, Kyler Murray cut it on that second half, tore them Eagles up, man. That's another team I just don't know. Because with them losing to the Cardinals, that allowed the 49ers winning to lock in the 1 seed, and they have home field advantage through the NFC. That's what it is. Anybody's going to have to go to Santa Clara to beat them. I don't know if any team in the NFC can. The Lions losing, I mean, the NFC is just in flux right now. It's just in shambles because, like I said, with the Eagles losing, the Cowboys are now the 2 seed. They beat the Lions. And we're going to get to that Saturday game because it was a controversial call that I want to get to, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. Another game I want to highlight, the Rams. I see you. Not only because Kyron's my running back. Shout out Kyron Williams. He's a monster. But they're looking like the Rams of 2 years ago. Only thing about them that scares me is Stafford's ability to turn the ball over. He did throw 2 interceptions that one was like, it's kind of like interceptions are kind of a thing of it's always on the quarterback. Is it, but his turnovers, I hope they don't come in a worse time because the Giants had chances to win this game, believe it or not. Tyrod Taylor played well. So I wanted to also, like I said, highlight that game. The Chicago Bears locked in the 1 seed. Although they blew out the Falcons, they locked up the number 1. I said 1 seed. I hope I didn't say 1 seed. 1 seed in the NFL draft. They locked up the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. And so, again, this was why I said what I said about Caleb Williams, about the Chicago Bears, because what'll be different replacing Justin Fields with Caleb Williams in that same bad team? You need to build around a young quarterback that you believe in. I think Justin Fields can be that guy. Go from there. Before I get to the Dallas and Lions game, I do also want to highlight this Denver Broncos game. Dare I say Jarrett Stidham didn't look bad? Like, I don't know, bro. Maybe Russ was the problem. I know they played the Chargers, but, I mean, he didn't turn the ball over. That's what we've really been wanting, a guy to not turn the ball over, a guy to run Sean Payton's offense. Well, that's what Sean Payton's wanted, so he has that now, I guess. So, salute to Jarrett Stidham. But like I said, I want to talk about this Dallas-Detroit game. Oh, my gosh. There was a holding penalty that was missed early on in the game. It was on CeeDee Lamb's 92-yard touchdown pass. Terrible holding call missed. Refs didn't throw a flag. The 2-point conversion where number 68 caught the pass, apparently he did check in with the official, and it was just missed by the official. This is kind of shaky for me, guys, because I don't know, man. The refs messed up, bro. Me being an official, a former official, because I used to officiate. I officiated basketball. I did flag football. I actually officiated in the state flag football tournament. Shout out to Campbell University for giving me the opportunity. Roll humps, baby. Roll humps, baby. Had my thing on my finger. The refs got to know what they're doing out there, man. The refs have to know because the players know what they're doing. They're professionals. They expect us as officials to be professionals as well. You can't cost the Detroit Lions like you did because if Detroit would have won, they could have still been in play for the 1 seed. When have we ever talked about the Detroit Lions being the 1 seed in the NFC? Not in my lifetime. The refs blew that one. They did bad, and it's unfortunate that because of that, Detroit will possibly have to go on the road to play Dallas again in Detroit if it comes down to, in Dallas, have to go to the Cowboys in Dallas if they have to play each other in the divisional round. It's unfortunate, bro, because this Detroit Lions team is really good, bro. This Detroit Lions team is really good. And I feel like if they would have had that 1 seed having home field advantage, San Fran would have wanted to go to cold Detroit and play. Dallas would have wanted to go to a cold Detroit and play. Like, that's a different vibe. Detroit's a different team at home. So it's very unfortunate, man, but I do think that the Cowboys are going to cowboy regardless. They're the 2 seed. Okay. You guys will play the 7. The 7 seed is looking like who? Green Bay? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. All Green Bay got to do is win next week and they're in. The way Jordan Love has been playing football the last month and a half, that's a coin flip game. Their offense, Dallas would have to score with that offense. The Packers are going to be a scary team in the playoffs, bro. They're going to be a very scary team in the playoffs. And I just hope the Packers win next week. The Packers have, because that could happen. The Packers have, they play the Bears, 7-9 Bears. So, I mean, man, oh man, we could be talking about something very different that wild card game. Jordan Love goes into Dallas and torches them boys. The Packers have always been a team that's given the Cowboys trouble. Aaron Rodgers is known. He was known for cooking them in Jerry World, man. So you heard it here first. If the Green Bay Packers get into the playoffs and have to play the Cowboys in the wild card, Cowboys might be going home. Cowboys might be going home. Last but not least, man, I want to talk about one other thing in terms of NFL news. And this is kind of something I mentioned at the beginning of this year that I want to kind of rewind and go back to. And we have to talk about the importance of coordinators, bro. We have to. Good coaching matters. You can have best players in the world, right? Best players in the NFL. But if your coaching is bad, then it's just not going to work. We are seeing this play out in 2 different instances, 2 different situations, 2 separate conferences. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Believe it or not, both teams went to the Super Bowl last year. Shane Steichen is no longer the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, as he is the head coach for the Indianapolis Colts, an Indianapolis Colts team that is still vying for a playoff spot, believe it or not. The Kansas City Chiefs lost Eric Bieniemy this offseason to being the offensive coordinator and assistant head coach for the Washington football team, Washington Commanders. Both offenses have looked completely lost without their offensive coordinators. And when I say completely lost, I don't mean lost as, oh, we can be found, we just right down the street, or my dog ran away lost, he's at the neighbor's yard next door. I mean lost as in the TV show Lost. 10 plus seasons of just being gone, not being able to be found. The Indianapolis Colts lost Anthony Richardson this year to a shoulder injury, and Shane Steichen took Gardner Minshew, who was his backup quarterback last year in Philly, and they're 9-7. Now, although Eric Bieniemy hasn't had the same success that he had with Patrick Mahomes with the Washington Commanders, I don't believe that's his fault. I believe that is the fault of his quarterback just not being very talented. With the potential of Ron Rivera most likely losing his job this offseason, and with the Chicago Bears locking in the first overall pick because of the Carolina Panthers L, then all the Commanders got to do is lose next week, and they can get the second pick in the draft. They get the second pick in the draft. I believe Bieniemy has a great shot to be the head coach if they do move on for Ron Rivera, which I do believe they will. He can get his pick of the litter at quarterback. Does he believe in a Jaden Daniels like I do? Does he believe in a Drake May, which I'm not as high on the Carolina quarterbacks thing? Saw Mitchell Trubisky. I'm good on it. Does he believe in a Bo Nix? Does he believe in a JJ McCarthy? I mean, it's the quarterback class is going to be deep. I've already put out a short about how I feel like this could be the class. It's not going to be the 7 quarterbacks because I believe Shador is going back to school, but it very well could be 5. It very well could be 6 first-round pick quarterbacks. Got Caleb Williams, you got Drake May, you got Jaden Daniels, you got JJ McCarthy, you got Bo Nix, you have Michael Penix. It's quarterback talent in this draft. Huge quarterback talent in this draft. First-round quarterback talent in this draft. All they got to do is lose. The Cardinals look like they're playing for something. I don't know what they're playing for at 4-12, but like I said, Kyler Murray's been frying since he's been back from injury. And with them playing the Seahawks next week, the Seahawks probably don't have anything to play for. So maybe they're trying to play spoilers, keep their division rivals home with them. Another thing about Seattle, man, do we need to talk about Pete Carroll's job? I don't know. Nevertheless, all they have to do is lose to the Dallas Cowboys, and they'll be at 4-13 with a great chance of getting the second pick in the draft. If they get that second pick in the draft, and depending on how the draft shakes out, the Patriots are 4-12 as well. What are they going to do? Like I said, the Cardinals are probably trying to play spoilers. They have a chance to get a top 3 pick and get one of the big 3 quarterbacks, which he would instantly come in and be better than Sam Howell. Do they want to do the UNC quarterback thing again? They have Sam Howell on their bench. Do they want to do that with a guy that's a little taller, has a little better arm, but had more talent and won just as less as Sam Howell in college? I don't know. But this is for the Commanders, man. Jaden Daniels to the Commanders, bro. Watch out for that. If the Chicago Bears choose to move on from Justin Fields, watch out for him going to the Commanders. They can make a play at quarterback this offseason, and they can be competing in that division next year. I personally think they can. I really do think they can. We're seeing what the Eagles are looking like. We're seeing how Dallas is Dallas. Dallas is going to Dallas. And then the Giants, come on. The Commanders, they're a sneaky, interesting team for me this offseason to watch, bro. I'm going to have my eye on the Commanders because, again, Eric Bieniemy coming in as head coach, Jaden Daniels coming in as their new quarterback. That team can be scary, bro. That team can be scary. Pivoting now to college football. Like I said, you know I'm Oklahoma Sooners fan, man. Boomer Sooner, man. You know them the guys. Them the boys. But they not in a New Year's Six Bowl. New Year's Six Bowls are going on right now. And later today, it's actually a big one. Two big ones, need I say. we're going to get some college football playoff action today, man. And I'm ecstatic for it because when I tell you, I'm rolling with the tide, baby. I'm rolling with the tide. Yes, you're hearing it here first, bro. Michigan is going home. Michigan is going home. I am rolling with Alabama to upset the Michigan Wolverines today. I don't believe in Michigan. Again, like I said, a lot of people love J.J. McCarthy. I think he could be a first-round quarterback in the same breath or the same vein as Mac Jones, but he's better suited as a second, third-round quarterback. He's only going to be as good as the talent around him, right? Now, in terms of Michigan and Alabama, I'm going to be real with you, man. Alabama's been playing their best football as of late. They have been playing their best football as of late. Nick Saban is just an amazing head coach. Their only loss this season was to Texas week 1. Now, I know all of the conversation that came out about what Bill O'Brien said to Jalen Milroe, but when I tell you I'm a fan of Jalen Milroe, I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe it's because of how I was watching the Auburn-Alabama game in Florida, and I saw him lead them to that victory with a few seconds left against Auburn. I know Auburn's a 6-7 win team. He's an exciting player, in my opinion, to watch. I feel like he can only get better. I feel like he can only improve. Dare I say he's one of my Heisman faves next season? He's coming back. The Alabama team is going to retool. They always are talented. I like Jalen Milroe to be a first-round quarterback. I like Jalen Milroe to be one of the Heisman candidates next season. He's going to be a really good college quarterback next season. And I won't be surprised if maybe he falls maybe in the draft to a second-round or third-round guy. But regardless, I could see him doing what Jalen Hurts is doing in the NFL. I just feel like we have to give him a chance to continue to progress because look at what Jaden Daniels did. Jaden Daniels always had talent. Anybody could have seen his talent, his dual threat ability, but he had to get to the right situation, the right team, the right coach to let him cook in a sense, to use his talent, use his ability to the best. You guys are hearing it here first, bro. If Jalen Milroe blows up next year, I said it first. Just like I was ahead on Jaden Daniels, I'm going to be ahead on Jalen Milroe as well. He's going to be a good player, and they're going to upset Michigan today. In the Sugar Bowl, we got Texas and Washington. Now, I'm glad this is the 8:45 game because this is going to be a shootout. This is going to be a shootout. It's really going to depend on what defense can get stops first. And if I'm honest with you, as talented as the Washington offense is, I can't bet against Texas, man. I cannot bet against Texas. Quinn Ewers is the real deal. Quinn Ewers is going to be a first-round pick next year. Prototypical size, arm talent, semi-mobile. He's a good player. He's going to be one of the 3 or 4 first-round quarterbacks I'm seeing. It's a couple quarterbacks I'm liking next year. We'll get to that a little later in the year, but we're focusing on this right now. But, yes, Quinn Ewers is a talent, bro. The question is Arch Manning going to stay behind and keep sitting on the bench? I just seen the one kid they had in Texas. What's his name? He just transferred to Duke. I gotta look, man, because he just transferred in. I mean, Riley Leonard left. He went to Notre Dame because, hey, he's one of the big names in the transfer portal. Yes, right here. Malik Murphy. Malik Murphy is transferring to Duke. He's transferring to Duke to replace Riley Leonard. And I'll be honest with you. I think Malik Murphy's a really good player too, bro. He's a really good player. I think there is some limitations in his game in terms of, say, reading defenses and stuff, but is that because of not having the experience playing? Who knows? Let's see what he does in the ACC. He was the number 4 quarterback in the transfer portal, the number 16 player overall, and he came in as the number 9 quarterback in class of 2022. So he's a freshman. I didn't know he was that young. He filled in for Quinn Ewers when Quinn Ewers was down a little bit, and he looked good. So yeah, I was reading the article wrong. I apologize. He has 3 seasons of eligibility left. So he's going to Manny Diaz, bro. Listen. With Quinn Ewers returning back to Texas, if they win the national championship, I don't see Quinn Ewers returning, but I don't think they're going to win the national championship because I don't know if you guys got that off of where I started, but the Tide are going to roll through the playoffs again. But yeah, Quinn Ewers, he's going to be a first-round pick next year. He's going to be a first-round pick coming back to college. He's going to do his thing. And Malik Murphy coming in, bro, I think he can do some stuff, bro. I really think he can do some stuff at Duke, bro. I can see him being one of the better players in the ACC next season. Dare I say, we gave Jake May all this love this year. I want to see the same thing if Malik Murphy's tearing it up in the ACC next year. So yes, that was that in terms of college football. I also want to mention that wow. And guys, this is breaking news for me. This is the first breaking news during the podcast episode. Let's go. Breaking news. After initially believing to be entering the transfer portal, Washington State quarterback Cam Ward is entering the NFL draft. Yo! It was thought that he was going to be the next Florida State quarterback or be going to Miami. If you don't know who Cam Ward is, bro, you need to go do your research. Cameron Ward, bro, it doesn't even do him justice. I'm just going to read you his stats because that's the only way you guys will understand the level of talent that this quarterback is. So I stand on business. What I said, it's going to be 6 first-round quarterbacks. It's no way this kid can't be a first-round quarterback, bro. It's no way he can't be. He can go to the combine. He'll tear it up. Bro. Junior, 2-year starter. He's thrown for almost 7,000 passing yards, 48 touchdowns to 16 interceptions. In the Pac-12, this was the most talented season the Pac-12 was. This season, he went for 3,700 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. You can't give me a receiver on that Washington State team. They were a 5-7 team. I know he was unable to, in a sense, elevate the talent he had, but man, Lincoln Victor's one of his good receivers, Josh Kelly. Are these guys going to be NFL players, dude? I don't know. And then last season with him being a starting quarterback as a sophomore, they went 7-6. So, I mean, Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. He could be a steal. He could be a steal, bro. He could be a steal in the NFL draft. That is just amazing. That is really amazing, bro. It's a stacked quarterback class, bro. Ah, man. It's a, yeah, bro. Seeing, this is what I'm seeing right now, man. November 29th was the last NFL big board that was released. So Cam Ward was not a part of the top 100, but Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Shedeur Sanders, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix, and Carson Beck were all people that they're thought of to be a little better than Cam Ward. Bo Nix, man. I'm not quite sure about Bo Nix, but he's going to be a first round pick because his numbers are just gaudy. Not gaudy like God, but like gaudy, Gaudy, like OD. His numbers are elite. So he can't not be a first round pick with the numbers that he's put up this season as Bo Nix as a quarterback. I believe 71% completion percentage, 4,000 plus passing yards. Like, I mean, come on, bro. He's going to be a first round pick just off of his production. Like, so I'm not even doing him justice, guys. 77% completion percentage, 4,100 passing yards, 40 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. Another 228 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns on the ground. That's 46 touchdowns to 3 turnovers, bro. He's definitely going to be a first round pick. Excuse me. He's definitely going to be a first round pick. So, yeah. But man, oh man. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Cam Ward could be a steal, bro. Cam Ward could be a steal late in the draft. And I would not be surprised whatsoever if he goes to a team and he's a guy. I would not be surprised. I'm just going to be honest with you. That felt good to have some breaking news during the episode, man. That felt really good. That felt really, really good. Pivoting to the NBA now, last but not least, you guys know I got to talk about hoops every time I come on this platform with y'all because that's my first love. That's what I love to talk about. And we here. So the most recent big news that happened in the NFL, of course, I already dropped a short about it. OG Anunoby being traded. OG Anunoby, Malachi Flynn, Precious Achiuwa being traded to the New York Knicks. RJ Barrett for Emmanuel Quickly and a second round pick. Looking at this trade in totality, I still feel like the Knicks got fleeced, bro. I was talking with, again, in my dynasty, I'm in my fantasy football league, excuse me. And one of the guys in there is a Knicks fan. He was telling me, man, I watch the Knicks all the time. We have so many guards, not a good enough wing, yada, yada, yada. And I get that. I get that wholeheartedly. But RJ Barrett was the player on that team. Emmanuel Quickly was a player on that team that, dare I say, had the highest ceiling of anyone else. To start the season, RJ Barrett was hooping, averaging 20 a game, shooting almost 40% from three. He was shooting 80% from the line. He was showing the ability to potentially be that third option on a really good team. He had injuries. I believe it was migraines, headaches, something of that. Something. He had some type of something that kept him out of games. And when he returned, he was not the same guy. So I don't know what that was, but maybe resetting, coming home in a sense, coming back to Canada. I think him and Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickly will be a scary young core for the future, bro. If they're able to really tank with the restrictions said to be the look at a different path. Okay, sorry, I was reading something. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a trade that happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Breaking news is happening today, so I had to be on top of it. But if you look at that young core and they're going to be tanking, it makes sense. They're going to tank. It's cool. That young core is solid for the future. I believe Schroeder can be a piece that's moved now. I think Emmanuel Quickly needs to be your starting guard. I think some type of lineup of Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes. I mean, they're 5. They're like forward, center positions are still older. But I think the next step for them is trading Pascal Siakam. Pascal has to go, and I've spoke with Alex offline about this, and I think the Los Angeles Lakers would be a perfect fit for Pascal Siakam. I really do. I feel like something along the lines of because they've already said, well, it's already been speculated that the Raptors would be willing to trade them Siakam based on a package that is centered around an Austin Reeves, a Jared Vanderbilt, which would low-key be perfect pieces, dare I say, with the way this team already looks. So that would be the starting of the deal. Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, they probably would have to throw in something else like just to make the money work per se, because I'm looking at it now, and that's about, since Vanderbilt's contract hasn't kicked in yet, it's about it's only about $5 million. His extension doesn't kick in until next season, so it's about 22 million. They'd probably have to throw another 15, 17 million in. I don't know if they'd want to move D'Lo. Maybe a Gabe Vincent would be in that trade. I could see something like that, maybe. Something like a Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, Vanderbilt, and a pick. It probably would only be a second-round pick, though, because with Siakam being and expiring, the Lakers, are going to have to extend him, give him a big contract. That would essentially lock them into what? I could see like 2 second-round picks. That would essentially lock them into the big three of LeBron, AD, Siakam. I don't think that's a bad big three whatsoever. That's a really good big three if we're being honest with you. And to be honest, I don't even know if this trade would be able to work just considering that Vanderbilt's contract and everything. So it probably would have to be something like maybe Rui instead. And if I'm the Lakers, I like trading Rui instead of Vanderbilt just because of Vanderbilt's versatility defensively. A lineup of Vanderbilt, Siakam, AD, of course, the court spacing is going to be awful, but defensively, you are really going to be able to lock teams down. I see the trade being something, and it has to happen after January 15th just because of the extensions that Rui and Austin Reeves did sign. But it makes the money work. Rui's making about 15, Austin's making about 12, Gabe's making about that 10 million. That's combining roughly that 37 million that you need to get Pascal. I don't know what Pascal Siakam is shooting from 3 this season. I am going to do my research really quickly and see that, because again, that fit could be a little wonky depending on how he's shooting from 3. Now, Pascal's never been a knockdown three-point shooter, I'll say, but his versatility to create off the dribble, his versatility to defend, his versatility to be a third option. We can't forget what he was with Kawhi Leonard in that Raptors team in 2019. It was Kawhi, it was Van Vliet, and Kyle Lowry, I would say, is the number two options combined. And then it was Siakam. Siakam was a really, really pivotal piece for that team. And see, this is what I was afraid of, Dynastyers fam. I'm looking at his stats. 22, 6.5, and 5 are really good numbers. But when you look at that three-point percentage, he's shooting 26% from three. I don't know how that'll work next to a LeBron, next to an Anthony Davis. It seems like getting him, he would just be a more expensive version of Jared Vanderbilt. And I mean, granted, Siakam does a lot more than Vando offensively. I don't want to sound disrespectful, as he is shooting a career high from field goal, besides that championship season. It's just the 26% from three just really leads me to hesitate. Really leads me to hesitate. Another team that I would really like to see maybe try to go get a guy like Siakam. I mean, it's a few teams out there that can use a guy like Siakam. I would love to see a team like the Sixers go out and see if you can do a Siakam for a Tobias Harris and a young piece and a draft pick swap. If you can trade maybe a KJ Martin, a guy that still has some value, maybe he's 22 years old, he's a wing player. Like, I'm just looking at their team. They don't have many young pieces to move. So maybe it could be something of trading and expiring for an expiring, maybe, to give them cap relief, because they maybe want to get something for Siakam. Because a big three of Siakam, Embiid, and Maxey, that would be scary, bro. That would be very, very scary. Another team that I wanted to consider, that although I don't know if they have enough, that I want to consider is the Phoenix Suns. Is there a way that maybe a Nurkic, Nasir Little, see, I don't know if they have enough cap space. See, that was wishful thinking for me, because if you can get Siakam there with that big three, I think that would help a lot what they have going on. In reality, let's stay on the Suns real quick. This is part of NBA news. Let's talk about it. Kevin Durant said that he's starting to, well, it's speculation Kevin Durant is starting to sour on the Suns. I don't know if that's true. I don't want to say it is, because it hasn't been anything said publicly, right? But it makes sense if he's starting to sour on the Suns. This team is underachieving. Bradley Beal has been injured for most of the season. When Bradley Beal has played, Bradley Beal has not looked like the old Bradley Beal. This is essentially the same team that the Suns had last year, minus Chris Paul. It's just Devin Booker and KD. Bradley Beal is averaging 15 points a game, 3 boards, 3.5 assists. He's shooting 40% from three, 75% from the line. But the kicker is he's only played 8 games. That is the problem. He's had numerous injuries this season, and I feel as though that they need to make a move. They need to get a defensive piece. I don't know who that defensive piece is, but they need to make another move. I feel like getting Nurkic, it kind of cap-strung them, because I don't know if Nurkic has significant value in the league. I don't know that. You know, I hope he does, but it's not, 100% certain if he does, and that's just the fear for me. One team that I just thought about, though, one team that I just thought about for Pascal Siakam, and I want to know what you guys think about this. The Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers can trade a package of something along the lines of maybe a Jarris Walker, maybe a Benedict Mathurin, because they're under cap. They don't have a lot of guys that they're paying big money to. They don't have a lot of guys that they're paying big money to. Bruce Brown's one of the bigger contracts. Miles Turner, Buddy Hield's expiring. Would they be willing to move a Buddy Hield to get a guy like Siakam? I don't know. But I say Siakam to the Pacers because they could use another scorer, in my opinion. Another guy that can create off the dribble. Yes, Tyrese Halliburton is great. Tyrese is probably going to be a first-team All-NBA this season. That is going to happen. You don't average 20, 25, and 24 and a half and 13 and not make first-team All-NBA. That's going to happen. If they could somehow create something to make 30-ish, 35 million, because they would only need to create 25 mil really to get a Pascal Siakam. Like, would they move a Buddy Hield to get Siakam? I don't know. Would they move a Bruce Brown to get Siakam? Because I feel like that's what it is. They're going to have to choose between a Bruce Brown or they're going to have to choose between a Buddy Hield. I don't think having both of them in your lineup during the playoffs is amazing. Because, again, it's the situation with the Knicks. Too many guards. Let's get us a wing. Let's get us a forward that can guard multiple positions, that can give us something offensively as well. Let's do that. And me personally, I would say keep Bruce Brown over Buddy Hield just because of his defensive ability. Of course, Buddy Hield is the far superior three-point shooter. He's about 41% from three for his career. But it's, in a sense, you have other guys that can shoot. You have other guys that can do those things. You need a guy that can give you a little more off the dribble creation. So something along the lines of a Buddy Hield, Jarris Walker, maybe another young piece. Like, I don't know. Do they still love Benedict Mathurin like they did last season when he was competing for the Rookie of the Year? I don't know. I don't know. I like Benedict Mathurin as a potential guy, but let's see if keeping Benedict Mathurin would stop them from wanting to get a Pascal Siakam. Because I'm looking at, Mathurin's having a good season. He's down all the way across the board in terms of numbers, like his rebounds, his assists, steals, blocks, but that's because he's playing less. He started 12 games. His minutes are down about 4 to 5 this year. His shot attempts are down about 2. But his efficiency is going up. So if I'm a team like the Raptors, I was just discussing about how we need to get a young guard on this team to play with Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett. So why not do something like and again, this probably could be too much for some people for a guy like Siakam, but Buddy Hield, Benedict Mathurin, Jarris Walker trade works monetarily. If the Pacers are trying to win, they need to make a move like this because currently constructed, I don't think they have enough. Another team, why not a team like the Brooklyn Nets? Ben Simmons' contract is still there. That can match up with a superstar player. They could easily throw a Dariq Whitehead attached to Ben Simmons, and that equal up money-wise. The Raptors get their young piece. The Raptors get the the cap relief. Now, would they want to have Ben Simmons be the guy that they, keep, that they have around? I don't know. I don't think so. But it is a few teams that Siakam could work for. Last but not least, I don't want to stay on the Pascal Siakam trade thing too much, but one other team I want to mention and I want to take a look at. What about the Miami Heat? The Miami Heat did not make the big move for Damian Lillard this offseason. They didn't. They chose not to. They chose to stay pat. They felt like they have enough. Maybe the big piece that they're going for is Pascal Siakam. Why not send Kyle Lowry back to the place where his career essentially was at the peak, allow him to play his last season at 37 years old, making $29 million, making almost $30 million, help that young core, let him retire. He always said he always said he's going to retire as a Toronto Raptor. He's always said that. Retire as a Toronto Raptor, and you can work a trade something similar to this. Let me cook real quick, guys, because I'm looking at it and I can see something of like a Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson. This is the perfect trade for me right here. I'm looking at this. If the Heat don't want to lose their point guard by not adding someone back, okay, cool. Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson. And if I'm the Raptors, and this is just solely if I'm the Raptors, okay, I need Jaime Jaquez Jr. back in this trade. So for it to essentially work in my eyes, for the Heat to not have to gut their draft picks, I feel like they can throw in a second round pick from the Lakers, because I'm looking at it like this, team. The Raptors traded OG Anunoby, and they got two good young players in a second. I would say OG's value is equal to Siakam's around the league because of OG's fit is better. His fit is cleaner. He's a 3-and-D wing. That's easy to fit. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. A guy like Siakam, with him shooting 28% from three, your team has to look a little different. So would they want to move Duncan Robinson? I don't know. I feel like Duncan would be important to keep just because of the need for shooting. I mean, they still have Tyler Hero. Caleb Martin can still shoot it. They still have Josh Richardson. Kevin Love can still shoot it. Like, I'm just thinking, because if I'm the Raptors, I want Jaime Jaquez Jr. But if I'm the Heat, I would much rather move Nikola Jovic. And so that's where I'm like, I don't know, but I like the Heat. I like the Heat making this move. Does Duncan Robinson keep them from not making this move? I don't think so. Because especially if they could get someone back. Like, see, when I post this episode, I'm going to have a short because I want to show this trade. But I have something like the Heat getting Siakam and Schroeder, the Raptors receiving Kyle Lowry, Jaime Jaquez, Duncan Robinson to make the money work, and a second round pick. I feel like that's a pretty fair trade. Jaquez has been great. Amazing this year. Another steal that the Heat have. If we can take him and we can upgrade and elevate to possibly getting us a championship this season, competing in the East, I think them getting Siakam and a Schroeder to replace, like, yeah, they're losing a little jump shooting with Duncan Robinson, but man, oh man, when I tell you they would have a scary starting five. Better yet, I'm about to screenshot this trade because I want to post this on the YouTube channel as well because I want to get people's opinion on it. But I think that could work really well. Last but not least, upcoming games of the week. Games that I'll have my eye on going through this week. Of course, we have to start with the freaking Tide. I'm going to have my eyes on the Alabama-Michigan game. I'm going to have my eyes on the Washington-Texas game today. Those are major games that I am looking forward to seeing. I have been waiting for a while to see what the college football playoff, how it will shake out. Let me just say, oh my gosh. Upcoming games. Let's talk about previous games. Florida State fans, are you guys all right? Because 63-3 is OD. Georgia didn't have to do y'all like that, but y'all asked for it. That's all I'm gonna say. We should have been in the playoffs. We were undefeated. Yeah, y'all got smacked by Georgia. Georgia should have been in the playoff, but that's neither here nor there. I don't want to talk about that. It's unfortunate, man, because of how they're doing stuff with the kids in college football. It's unfortunate, but that is the world we're living in right now, and we all said this was going to happen. We all said Florida State is going to play Georgia, get smoked by 35 because they don't have Jordan Travis. We all knew that was going to happen. Nobody wanted to see them get smoked by 35 against Michigan today. I'm much more excited to see the Tide whoop up on Michigan and make it back to the national championship game. And I want to let y'all know I'm not an Alabama fan whatsoever. Boomer Sooner all day. Y'all, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Y'all saw the jersey? Y'all see the jersey, bro. Bro, y'all see it on the back, bro. Boomer Sooner, bro. But it's just about the visual. Nobody wanted to see Florida State get smacked, bro. I'm sorry. But upcoming games to watch, like I said, the college football playoff games, of course. Going to be tuning into those. A few college basketball games that I want to peep. I want to see my Blue Devils play against the Syracuse. You know, Syracuse is up where I'm from, man, upstate New York. Got to see the Duke Blue Devils put on for the city. Also, I want to try to catch one of Bronny James's games, bro. I want to. I really do. I'm going to try to see when they play, who they play, and I'm going to try my best to stay up if I have to watch them play because, see, they play Cal on the Pac-12 network at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Might not be able to stay up on Wednesday, but if we can get us a game maybe on Friday or Saturday, I might be in there. See, Saturday, they play Stanford on the Pac-12 network at 4 o'clock. See, that's more my speed. I might tune in and watch Bronny's first game first game that I've been able to see because I haven't got a chance to see him yet. Last but not least, games that I'm going to be looking forward to. NFL. The Texans and the Colts, I feel like that game has a little more importance than we think, as both teams are 9-7. And I low-key feel like that game might be for the division. So let's look at the NFL divisions real quick, because if that's for the division, then whoa. I mean, it very well could be the winner of that if Jacksonville folds. So this is going to be a big week of NFL football because the Ravens already lock up the 1 seed. They're probably going to rest their starters against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a chance to go 10-7, potentially still get into the playoffs, which is crazy at 10-7. I mean, depending on how stuff shakes out. The Colts are, like I said, the Jags have the lead in the division now, but the Colts and the Texans are playing essentially to see who wins the division or who gets that 7 seed, depending on how stuff shakes out. Because if Pittsburgh beats a Baltimore team that's going to have a lot of their starters resting, they'll be 10-7, most likely getting that 7 seed. If the Texans win and the Jags lose, I'm assuming the Texans will win the division. So that essentially could be for the division Saturday. We have a game of the Saints and the Falcons and then the Buccaneers and the Panthers. Those are 2 games we're going to watch as well because that has big implications for that division in the NFC. If the Bucs don't win, and the Saints beat the Falcons, and the Saints win that division. If the Bucks win, I believe they essentially lock up the division regardless of what happens with the Saints, but they have to win. The Jaguars are playing the Titans, 1 o'clock on CBS. I want to see if Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to go. Trevor Lawrence didn't play this past week. CJ Beathard played okay, but it still wasn't as Trevor Lawrence-y as it would have been. Like, I mean, they played the Panthers, so of course they were going to win, but the offense didn't look as explosive in the passing game as it would with a Trevor Lawrence. Now, granted, it's because Beathard wasn't taking as many chances as a Trevor Lawrence does, and he didn't throw an interception, but Trevor Lawrence is good for a pick or two a game, so maybe that could be what it was. I don't know. My Jets play the Patriots on Fox. I want to see what Patriot team comes out. I want to see if it's a team that is looking to fight for Bill or if it's a team that's defeated and they're just trying to get a top 3 pick in the draft. I want to see the Bears-Packers game because I want to see what Jordan Love does. This is essentially a playoff game, bro. You win and you're in. You have to win to have a chance to get in. And if you do, you're good, bro. Like, you win and you're in. Another game I want to peep, man, the Rams and the 49ers. That's going to be a big game as the Rams are still fighting to get into the playoffs, and I think they can. San Fran's locked up the 1 seed as well. Are they going to be resting starters? I don't know. How is that going to impact fantasy football because I'm playing McCaffrey in the championship? I don't know, but I'm going to keep that on the low. Hopefully Elijah Mitchell's my pickup on waivers this week. But last but not least, though, man, the big game is Sunday night. Bills-Dolphins for the division. Win, you're in. Lose, you're on the road. That's essentially what that game means, and it's going to be a great week of sports this week. Ah, man, we're at the end of another great episode of the Dynastyers podcast, more so Cape's Corner. I am your boy, Kung Fu Cape, the Rise Capers. You already know me, man. I'm here talking sports with y'all. Love y'all, but you know we got to end with words of wisdom. And my words of wisdom, man, I actually want to go to a tweet that I said. Man, I've just with 2024 being here, bro, I really just have goals, have standards that I'm holding myself to this year. Standards that I'm not going to renegotiate with, like I feel like I've done that in the past. I feel like I've always given myself grace. Oh, it's okay. Oh, you're all right. Oh, nah, bro. This is the year where it's time to hold myself accountable. This is the year where it's time to grow and glow like I've been wanting to for the last 2 years. So this is a tweet that I said, and I just wanted to say that, man. I want to leave this to you guys as words of wisdom. If you want different results, you got to switch up your plan. You got to change some stuff up. And that is what I'm doing. I want different results in 2024 for a lot of things that I've been going through physically, mentally, emotionally, and I'm changing. I'm going to tackle stuff differently. I'm going to change some stuff. And I challenge you to do the same. If you feel like you're not where you need to be, if you feel like you've reached your peak or your ceiling, nah, bro. Change up your plan. Change up what you're doing, and you'll see how much stuff will change and stuff will switch for you. Oh, man. Love you guys. Love you guys so much, man. I appreciate y'all. If you've made it to this point in the video, you are amazing, bro. You are truly, truly amazing, and I really appreciate all of you guys. And, man, until next time, 2024, the Dynastyers are here, baby. 2024, thank God we made it. Another 365 and another one is starting over. So, day one, on the book that you're going to write for 2024, how are you going to write it? I challenge you to make it the best story yet. Till next time, it's your boy Darius Capers, Kung Fu Cape on the Twitch, Darius_Capers on social media. We out. Peace. What's good, party people? It's your boy, Kung Fu Cape, a quarter of the Dynastyers podcast. If you made it to this part of the video, you're the real MVP. You're the champion. But to make sure you keep repeating as champion, you gotta give us a sub. Give us a sub on the YouTube channel at the Dynastyers Podcast. Give us a follow on Instagram at the Dynastyers Podcast. We post a lot of important information. A lot of key dates are coming up soon. Dates that you don't want to miss. So go ahead and sub and follow so you can stay abreast of what we got going on. You don't want to miss it.